Hello guys, today talking about the box office here. Today we'll be talking about all the movies that passed $1 million, two more, including two more movies. So, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. We already talked about that in depth, so we don't really need to talk about that movie. I'm just gonna do a very bare bones analysis, basically here. It has dropped 50. Here's basically the summary of that video. It dropped 59%. It's still behind The Last Jedi, and it's still be doing Endgame numbers. So this movie actually had a similar drop to Endgame as well, which knowing if it does as similar legs to Endgame, so if you use the Endgame number, this movie times its opening as well. If we do times, if it does do like Endgame's numbers, if it does do Endgame like numbers, no, if it does Endgame domestic rig numbers, we'll have here. So this is Endgame's domestic numbers, which that's not gonna happen. Oh wait, that's domestic rigs. That's not including international rigs. So Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, there's Endgame's total rigs, which if it does Endgame's total rigs, it'll be at 242 million, which I don't think it's likely. So I think it'll do. Considering it had the holidays, it'll probably do closer to 2.7, which is a lot. No, that's still no closer to The Last Jedi, which probably even better than The Last Jedi, wigs wise, 513 million, considering it has had a better drop than The Last Jedi, which I think is really due to the holiday season. Okay, it's really the holiday weekend, and a lot of people are watching movies. A lot of people are watching movies during the holidays. A lot of people are watching. Of course, people said it's dropped 70%, but the 30% was including was of course you gotta realize that this was including Thursday previews. This was including Thursday previews. It's including Thursday's numbers. So, but Star Wars is definitely dropping off. There's no doubt about it. Star Wars is definitely dropping off. It'll probably drop below 20 million tomorrow, and it'll probably go back up for New Year's Eve, and then start going back down for New Year's Day. So, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is not doing as well as people think it would. So, have been doing. Here's what they have been expecting. So, Star Wars will do $670 million domestically. All right, that's still too low. $6-7 million around here, $654 million to $700 million. So this proof that this movie is still underperforming because their actual projections were 1.5 billion worldwide and $600-700 million domestically. So Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker should be performing like that, but it isn't. So we're gonna be done with Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Let me even go back to the other movies. So next is Jumanji, Auction the next level. It has like the first movie, not the original movie, the first Jumanji reboot movie. Jumanji the next level is doing extremely well, like the first Jumanji. It's having very great legs. Don't think it will pass $1 billion. It's having extremely great legs and domestically. It has gone above the average movie as well. So that is pretty good for a movie that was kind of underperforming. But again, the holidays have saved this movie. It has increased by 43%. I expect it to, it will probably pass 300 million domestically. If you compare it to the Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji is a movie this movie is the type of movie that has pretty great legs. At the box office, it's kind of the other option. It's having better legs than Star Wars as well. It's having way better legs already than Star Wars as a whole. And you can see here, this is the movie. It is actually outbeating Welcome to the Jungle. It's actually catching up to Welcome to the Jungle, which it'll probably catch up at this point, but it won't probably have the same legs as Welcome to the Jungle. It'll still end up below Welcome to the Jungle at the end. It was actually pacing ahead of it, but the poor wigs at the beginning didn't really help this movie at all. And I think it's gonna have another few weeks of $11 million performance, as well, $10 to $11 million, considering how well it has been doing. How well it has been doing during the holidays. Okay, it's gonna has three more days left of the holidays. 3 more days left of the holidays. I think it'll probably perform around 10 to 12 million. So expect this movie to pass 200 million in the next few days. It will pass 200 million dollars guaranteed. So next is Little Women. I said yesterday, oh, this is a movie that no one really cares about. No one really gonna really watch this movie at the box office. It has grossed 29 million on its first week, but that's including Christmas and the day after Christmas sales. And the only reason this movie's probably gonna do well is because of the Oscars. They're gonna sell out for this movie because it's about feminism. It's about wokeness. Okay, it's about wokeness. It's selling out for woke movies. Okay. Next is Frozen 2. Do not know why this movie is still making money. The story at least is doing better than Spies in Disguise. It's probably, it has a chance. It still might not pass Frozen 1. It still might not pass Frozen 1 worldwide. It will probably pass Frozen 1. I'm being, probably will pass it. But it's not gonna gross $1.4 billion. Okay, it's not gonna gross $1.4 billion at all. Spies in Disguise, yeah, it's not making money. No one's watching this movie. Moving on. No one wants to go see Spies in Disguise because Frozen 2 is still making money. Knives Out, that movie is still doing money. This movie is still being a massive success at the box office, which is completely surprising that this movie is a massive success at the box office. The holidays has only improved this movie's sales even more, where this movie is now at $110 million, which I think no one was expecting it to do. So that means Lionsgate has another franchise they can really rely on if they can really play their cards right. They can make Ryan Johnson direct those movies instead of Star Wars. We'll all be fine with it. So Uncut Gems is out. It's doing really well at the box office. So a lot of people are saying this movie is very great. Which, despite it being an Adam Sandler movie, I thought I thought people would hate this movie because it's an Adam Sandler movie. Everybody is like against Adam Sandler movies at the box office, so it's completely surprising that an Adam Sandler movie is well beloved by fans and especially the critics who hate this movie so much. Next is Cats. Yeah, we really need to explain why this movie is a box office failure. This movie has only made $48 million domestically. It is heavily better than the average movie, but considering its gross was only $6 million, it is kind of expected that this movie is going to overperform compared to the average movie. It had a small drop, but the movie only opened with $6 million to begin with. So no one wants to see Cats. Moving on. Next is Bombshell. This movie is completely that's not doing well at the box office. No one wants to see it. This movie has grossed $50 million currently. The movie has a $45 million, so it's not even close to that at all. Whereas this movie, next is this movie is just not doing well. No one wants to watch Bombshell. Whereas the Jewels, another box office failure, like Cats, Bombs, and Bombshell. I think people are getting sick of these types of movie. It's none of these movies that are trying to reach on to the Golden Globes and the Oscars, like Bombshell. It's just not doing too well. No one wants to see it. No one is watching this movie. This movie is not gonna be how it's not really. They kind of released this movie. I don't. It doesn't really matter when they release this movie. This movie will bombed at the box office. Okay, it's probably still the same no matter what. I think The Holidays was the best case scenario for this movie, but most people haven't heard of this movie unless they have looked at the Oscars and stuff, which don't really help movies, with the exception of like one or two movies are really helped by the Oscars. So most of the Oscar movies are not really doing too well. Besides, are not really doing too well at the box office. Okay. Full V Ferrari, a movie that's to be nominated for all these Oscars and awards, which probably will not be, it's gonna pass $200 million. It has Best Baby Driver domestically, so that means this movie is gonna be a box office success. It's not a box office bomb or a failure. People are going to go see this movie, even at the holidays when there's all these other movies. This is still an option. Queen and Slim is still out in theaters. This movie is still making money somehow. It's still making money. It's a more of one of those lower budget movies. So this movie made back its money likely at this very point. So this is a movie that released during Thanksgiving. It is kind of one of the more forgettable movies that have come out during Thanksgiving. Next is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. This movie really needs to have international sales. This movie probably didn't make back its money, but this movie really needs international sales. This movie really needs international sales. This movie really needs these international sales. It is doing better than the average movie, but it really needs international sales. Not everybody America just can't carry a movie alone like it used to in the past. Okay, some movies are completely carried by America, but not every movie can be. So next is the big flop called Black Christmas. No one wants to see this, which is unsurprising. Christmas is over, so this movie's gonna have to stop dropping off big. No one wants to watch this movie. And even with the holidays, this movie has not really gone past above the average movie. This movie is completely failing, okay? And people said, oh, it only has $5 million, okay? But, Happy Death Day to You was considered a failure, and that movie still made money. So, Black Christmas is unlikely to get a sequel. And the last movie is 1917. So this movie has grossed $1 billion within a week and only 11 features. This movie's gonna make a lot of money at the box office, okay? People are gonna go see this movie like out in droves. It could be the next American Sniper. Well, it's gonna be a masterpiece and everybody has to see it. Okay, 1917, and then there's Parasite as well, and some other movies down here. Joker's not here as well, but these are all small movies that we don't really care about. So Parasite is another movie that is actually gained up in theaters because of the exposure this movie had domestically. This movie had a massive exposure. This movie's gonna make back money. This movie has like a 10 million, $20 million budget, $20 million budget. But this movie has already made back its money if it only, in Korea and America. So this movie has done nothing but well at the box office. So that's basically about the movies and the domestic box office. Goodbye.